Hey guys, welcome back to the CherishedNomad podcast. I am Cecilia, I'm your host, and today we are going to be talking about increasing self-awareness and worth through your first three chakras. So that is your root chakra, your sacral chakra, and your solar plexus chakra. And we're going to discuss what they are, what it means for us when they are balanced, when they're unbalanced. And I'm also going to give you different questions and affirmations and other lovely, useful things that you can do to make sure that yours remain in balance. So I hope you're as excited as I am about this. It's a really fun topic. And yeah, I think it's going to be great. So let's get going, shall we? Okay, so first off, I want to talk about what are the chakras. If you've never heard of them, and they are these 7 energy centers that you have along your spine. The last one is actually outside of your body. And it's part of yogic philosophy. It's also part of Chinese philosophy that we want to focus on these 7 energy centers, and we want to make sure that they are aligned. And we also want to make sure that they are working together and they're kind of flowing in the right energy flow, if you so will. So they can be underactive, they can be overactive, they can be balanced, hopefully. And the way these are shown, they show up in different ways. For example, if one of your chakras is underactive, you might feel depression, you might feel sad, it might draw you down to more the negative thing. And if it's overactive, it can create a lot of things like addiction and just hyperactiveness. So what's also cool about this is that we can feel it in our body. So a lot of times if we feel a pain in a particular section of our body, we might think, okay, this is related to something else, it's related to some sickness. But the fact is that all of these chakras, they actually correlate with those organs. So it can be an energetic pain, if you so will, as well as something more physical and some kind of disease. So I find them really exciting. And especially when we're doing self-awareness improvement and self-worth improvement, what I like about the chakras is that they kind of give you this guide about where to start and how to keep moving through it. And it's almost like a GPS about you understanding what areas of your life might be the ones that trigger these feelings. So whether or not you believe in energetics and all of this, that's fine. What I would say is that having these prompts, which I'm going to give you, and having these areas of your life to focus on is incredibly helpful and beneficial regardless of what you believe in. And a lot of times I notice we are always told that we should focus on our heart chakra. Like, let's open up the heart chakra. Everyone is now so close in the heart chakra, like, let's open it up. And I think that's really helpful, but what I think is even more helpful is if we start at the bottom. And we start and we work our way up. Because it's kind of like if you read my book, The Wellness Code, I talk about these big cogs that spin around your life. And I attribute them to 5 pillars: stress, sleep, your mindset, your nutrition, and your fitness. And your chakras are really the same thing. They are described as cogs. They are described as circular energy. And these first 3 ones are so important for you to feel rooted and to have a good foundation in your life. So when we start opening up the heart chakra, which is about unconditional love and just embracing life with love, if we don't actually feel grounded in ourselves and in our lives and we don't feel safe, then that unconditional love will never actually happen, no matter how much we try. So I find this really good to start with, and we need to begin right at the bottom. We start with ourselves and we begin with the root chakra. Okay, so let's dive into the very first one, your root chakra, which is called your Muladhara, and it stands for root and base and support. So this is what connects you. This is really your foundation in life, and it's tied with the most basic things, which is your senses of survival, safety, and all the things that are associated with your physical needs, as well as finances and money, and also your connection with other people. So that sense of like a tribe around you is very much connected to your roots, so to who you feel you are. Is also associated with ages 0 to 7. I'm not going to talk too much about ages because I feel like we get into too much then. But generally, if you haven't felt very secure in your very early childhood, then you might see manifestations of a misaligned root chakra. The areas of your body are your adrenals, but if you're looking at kind of the physicals, the stuff that you can see on the outside, then you're very much looking at your legs, your feet, up until your large intestine, as well as your bones, because the root chakra is about support. So you're looking at all of the skeleton and all of the things that are holding you up, that's giving you stability. Because it's associated with this, if you start to kind of get an out of alignment root chakra, the way that it manifests itself might be that you start to feel a sense of loss of balance in your daily life. So if you've been able to hold a one-legged yoga pose and all of a sudden you're all over the place, then there might be something up here. Also, emotionally, if this is in a dysfunctional position, you might feel lethargic, mental lethargy, a sense of spaciness, and an incapability of having inner stillness. It's associated with your fight or flight response. So if you're feeling like you're constantly needing to run away and not able to sit down, but your mentality or your mental thoughts are just rushing away, might have something to do with your root chakra. If you're looking at kind of physical diseases, it would be osteoarthritis, where the root chakra shows up. Again, it's connected to your skeleton. Now, what I love to go through more than anything, more than affirmations when it comes to the chakra, I think it's so good to really dig into the questions that are associated with each chakra. So some of the questions that work for your root chakra are: how did you feel as a child? Did you feel safe? Did you feel supported? What reminds you that you are physically and emotionally safe in life? What brings you stability in life? When you think about your finances, how do you feel? And how can you shift that from a mindset of lack to a mindset of abundance? Now use those to journal and to discover where your sense of misalignment comes. And maybe you don't find anything and everything is good, and that's great, because that means that your root chakra is balanced. Then to keep it balanced, or to start balancing, and we go into affirmations. Some affirmations for the root chakra would be: I am filled with humility. I am enough as I am. I am centered and grounded. I am powerful, rooted and strong. I am stable and secure. I am financially secure. The universe will always provide for me. So believing in your sense of safety and stability in this life is vital for the root chakra. Now, I find it great to kind of work in the mental space with questions and affirmations, but what's even more important, I think, is taking all of these things into action and creating movement. If you think about it, emotions are just feelings in motion. So we want to create some sense of motion to release all of this. So for the root chakra, again, if you want to go into meditation, I think that's great, but focus on things that are connecting you. So rooted meditations, imagine roots coming down for your feet. Strength training on your legs is really important, that you feel that you can face any fear that you have in your life rather than run away from it. And then connect with others, so find a tribe. So group classes, I think, are great for people with a misaligned root chakra. So you want to feel a sense of connection with others whilst you're getting stronger in that time. Because it's associated with red, maybe Barry's Bootcamp is a great place for you. Okay, next up we have the sacral chakra. So this is a little bit higher in your body. It is the dwelling place of the self, Svadhisthana. And it concerns your rhythm. Is a very circular and feminine energy center. So concerned with your daily rhythm, and very, very much, incredibly much with relationships, with sex and creativity, and also your ability to feel pleasure in life. And it's not then too surprising that the areas of the body that this is concerned with is your reproductive organs. So it is your womb, your genitals, kidney, bladder, low back, but also adrenals. You'll find that the adrenals keep on coming back in this first 3 chakras. which I think makes sense, because if you don't feel grounded, if you don't feel that foundation, then we often will get triggered and we'll feel very stressed. So again, this is concerned with the I. It's reptilian brain as well. Reactive is very much about procreation, about creating life, which is why if this is unbalanced, we can see a lot of times kind of sexual addiction coming into it, or we might feel shame around sex. So this is a great energy center to heal, especially for us women. It is, as I mentioned, sex and relationships, your emotional balance that this is concerned with. And if it's not in alignment, we might feel some effects of peristalsis, so the movement of food along your digestive tract. And emotionally, you might find that you have issues with libido. Maybe it's too high, maybe it's too low. You have emotional instability, feelings of isolation and self-esteem issues. And you might also not feel too much enthusiasm in your life, especially as this is concerned with your enjoyment of life and pleasure. Physically, we might see impotence, frigidity, so inability to feel pleasure, bladder and prostate problems, and also lower back pain. Now, how do we move through this? What are the questions for your sacral chakra? So it's very much rooted in creativity. So do I feel creative, or do I tell myself that I am not a creative person? What do I feel guilt for? How can I rephrase it and forgive myself and learn from the experience instead? Guilt is very much associated with the center, so we want to try to move past it into something that's a little bit more supportive towards us, that's going to teach us something rather than keep us in shame. How do I incorporate play into each day? And how did I do it as a child? Connect again with your inner child and start to see what you did then and bring that joy back into your life. Do I feel worthy of joy, pleasure, and happiness? And this is such a great one, and really focus hard on that one. Now for your affirmations, this center is very strongly associated with sentences that begin with I feel. So if you want to create your own affirmations, begin with I feel. And if you're trying to connect to the center, start your sentences with I feel. Now, however, some other great affirmations is I am both sensitive and strong. I feel joy and pleasure without guilt. I feel safe to explore sexuality in fun, creative, and healthy ways. I flow with inspiration and creativity. My emotions are free-flowing and balanced. I embrace pleasure and abundance. Now, because this is a very feminine energy center, it doesn't mean that it's just for women, but when we look into, and we'll talk over this another time, but you have masculine and feminine energies, and feminine energy is very circular. So when we're trying to heal this area through movement and through action, look for things that are circular. So dancing is great for this, hula hooping, but also you want to get creative and play, really create something. So things that are associated with touching, for example, baking or food making is great for this. I really want to create something because this center is about divine creation, right? So, and also kind of connecting into that sensual. That's why I feel like touch is a great part of this center's healing. Tap into those things that you feel are cozy, beautiful, nice textures, and just really, really enjoy yourself whilst doing it. Remember, there is no shame, there's no guilt in enjoyment. Okay, let's finally get into the solar plexus chakra, your Manipura. This means lustrous gem in Sanskrit, and it's connected with your personal power, your willpower, as well as the digestive organs. And this time we moved up kind of the totem pole or the hierarchy of your brain and connection. So we are now concerned with we. So you're not just yourself anymore, it's other people. And it's connected with your mammalian brain, so there's a little bit more of feeling compassion in this center than in the previous two. Areas of concern, we're looking at food and sustenance, but we're also looking again at personal power and self-will. I would say most often we see this as your center of willpower. And if this is out of alignment, then you probably aren't achieving the things that you want. You're rather self-sabotaging. Your area of your body, your pancreas, your adrenals, the digestive system, muscles of the body, liver, and gallbladder. So a lot of stuff going on here. And if we're feeling misalignment, we might start to feel pressure in the cavity of the body. So in your trunk and in your core, especially solar plexus. It's also a lot to do with your breathing and how you're feeling here. And physically, we might see this come up as stomach ulcers, digestive problems, chronic fatigue, allergies, and even diabetes. So it's concerned with everything that has to do with your digestion. If you all of a sudden start to find that you have intolerances, have a look at how connected you feel with your solar plexus chakra. Questions for this center, because it's very much connected with your capabilities of achieving things, of your trust in yourself. This is where you're going to look at what's going on. So what would I do if I had no limits or bounds on me and knew I couldn't fail? So really think deeply about what you want and what you would do. And that then goes on to, do I trust in myself that I can achieve hard things? Do you fully trust yourself? Because you need to trust yourself before you can trust other people. What areas of my life am I over-controlling? A misaligned solar plexus chakra can come across as overly controlling over the smaller things, and very often about our food. Because if we don't trust ourselves, then we will control food, or we will control the little parts of our life. Do I allow myself to feel anger in a healthy way? Anger is a good emotion. Anger is a healthy emotion to feel. But we often feel shame and we feel guilt for feeling it. So can you express anger, but can you express it in a healthy way? Don't think of a toddler throwing a tantrum. This is more, can you actually talk through your anger? And where am I letting shame take over? Can I shift from punishment to instead examine and correct what's going on in my life? So looking past events, looking into your past and letting go of the guilt and shame that you might have felt, and instead looking at it as something that you can learn from. Affirmations for this center is very much with I can. So again, willpower, you want to boost yourself. This is a center that's connected with your inner warrior. So I accept myself completely. I accept that I have strengths and I accept that I have weaknesses. I stand in my personal power. I can make decisions with confidence and conviction. The only thing I need to control is how I respond to situations. I have the courage to create positive change in my life. I feel motivated to pursue my purpose. So really strengthen yourself. Now, how can we put this into action? Goal setting is great for this chakra. If our sacral chakra is feminine, your solar plexus is very masculine. It's very much about setting goals and achieving things. Breath work is also really important for this area. And flexion of the trunk, so using those two, kind of breathing in, breathing out, rounding your back will help you here. And I like to think of this as being kind of like the samurai. So again, masculine energy, so focus with Tai Chi, and all these movements are very purposeful, but calm and slow and very dignified. Now, each of these chakras are also associated with colors and different elements of the world. So let's just quickly run through those as well, so you can really kind of super go through all of this healing. So let's take it back to your root chakra. Root chakra is associated with the color red. So try, if this is the center that you felt whilst listening through of all of those things, this is the one that you kind of felt, I wonder how I'm sitting here. You want to bring in as much red as possible into your life. So wear red lipstick, go for red colors, but also eat red food. So looking for kind of those tomatoes, strawberries, hibiscus tea, all of these beautiful things. And because we're talking about things that are rooting you, you want to get out into nature and connect to the earth. So not water, but really getting into a forest if you can. Connection with that earthly energy is important here. Doing grounding work, so walking barefoot, would be great for anyone with an imbalanced root chakra. As we move on up, we come into the sacral chakra, which is associated with orange. So again, bring in orange into your life. Start to eat lots of orange food. And this element of the sacral chakra is water. So again, thinking flowing and all of that movement, creating flow in your life, connection with the ocean, with water, whatever it might be and what that might feel correct for you would be great. Taking a bath and really enjoying and soaking into it. Again, connecting with your feminine energy and just enjoying. So pleasure and water is all great for this center. And then with your solar plexus is yellow. I found a little bit of a tangent here, but I've never liked the color yellow. I don't wear it. I don't have any clothing. I never had any piece of clothing that has yellow in it. And one of my chakras that I really need to work on is the solar plexus chakra. So if there is a particular color that you find you don't want to wear, again, this might be a giveaway for you as to what chakra is currently not aligned in yourself. Opposite, if you only wear a certain color, then that might be also a giveaway that something is a little bit out of balance. So solar plexus is yellow. Can you bring that in through foods, bring that in through jewelry, whatever it might be? And this center is connected with fire. So sitting next to a fire, watching it burn, all of those things can be great for healing the solar plexus chakra. Please, please, please do not go out now and light things, but instead do it safely through candles and all of those things. But this is kind of just to tie everything in. And I'm going to also create something for you guys, show you movements that you can do, a nice little flow. So watch out on my YouTube, I'll share that, and on Instagram, to connect all of these three through your movements. Because as I mentioned earlier, what I love with the chakras is that you can bring in all of this self-healing work without actually feeling like you're doing that, because it can get really, really heavy. But if you can just allow yourself to enjoy good food, if you can let yourself enjoy water, earth, nature, fire, and also the movements that you do, we're continuously boosting ourselves, but we're not necessarily feeling like we're doing any of the heavy shadow work. So this is my intention with this episode, and I truly, truly hope that you have enjoyed it, that you have learned something, that there is something here that you will take to heart and incorporate into your day. Please do let me know what you thought, if there was anything that you would like to add, and do leave a review if you're enjoying these podcasts. Leave a comment. It would mean so, so much to me as I'm starting this journey of kind of sharing things with you through different mediums. So yeah, let me know what you think. In the meantime, have a wonderful, healthy, and happy day, and I shall speak to you soon again. Bye!